Hey everybody, it's Pastor Jeremy here with your daily faith moment of the day. And today I want to bring you a word that I'm sure you've all heard of, and I know that you probably know something about it, but the word is shalom. The word shalom, obviously, is a Hebrew word meaning peace, or God's peace be with you. And in a lot of ways, it talks about the idea of a blessing, of a divine blessing, that God is with us and there's peace there. But one of the things that I love about the Hebrew understandings and the way that our Old Testament is written is that it's written with such depth. There's a depth to the knowledge, there's a depth to the words, there's a depth to the way that is being shown. The Talmud, which is basically a study on writing on the Torah and the different principles of the Torah, says this about the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, that the Torah is concerned with shalom, that the Torah is there to show us the ways of shalom. And I think that we think about that. What does it mean to be a part of the way of peace? What does it mean to be part of the ways that God is bringing peace, not just to us, but almost a moral obligation of the individual, in the idea of shalom also in one of its understandings means wholeness. So there's this obligation here in the divine giving of blessing that God has given us in shalom to become part of that shalom with one another, to be looking for the wholeness in one another, to be part of that which is moving towards completion. This idea of perfection that comes not in kind of our ideas of perfection in terms of getting everything right, but the Talmudic tradition of perfection, meaning everything is put right, or everything is put into the order of God. Proverbs 3 talks about this in terms of wisdom, and that shalom is a part of our understandings that come from God. This is Proverbs 3, verse 13 through 18. Happy are those who find wisdom and those who get understanding, for her income is better than silver, and her revenue is better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are shalom. She is the tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold fast are called happy. This is one of those things that makes us shift in our thinking from the individual to the village or the tribe. The idea that we in shalom are called to be in wholeness with one another, and that this is part of the gift of God that gives us life. There's a wisdom to living in peace with one another, and there's an obligation, given a divine blessing, that we are a part of what gives that blessing to the world, that the blessing is manifested in us and through us. Remember, the 10 Commandments are not just rules, but they're ways of life. They're ways that God are showing the Israelites how they will be different and how they will live into this shalom. It's not just a social regulation. It's a language of heart. It's a language of soul, and it's a language of spirit. And we are a part of this shalom. And so there's something about this that we must remember, that if we are loving Christ, if we are following the ways of Christ, the ways of Jesus, that he has been brought up with this understanding of shalom, this understanding of wholeness. And indeed, when we look at Christ, that is what he is working for. That is what his sacrifice is to bring a wholeness and completion to the world that we can't bring ourselves. So our response to that gift is to be shalom with one another, and to remember that this is deeply connected to the community, not just ourselves. So may the peace of shalom be with you and all today. And may we always work for the completion of shalom, the wholeness of shalom, and the peace of shalom with one another. May the Lord bless you and keep you today on your journey. Amen.